Everything that's going on in this country right now, especially with regard to this current administration, is the direct result of white women's laziness, cowardice, and incompetence. Or as the French would call you, les incompetents. Bonus points if you get that reference. As white women, you have a direct connect to white men, which means that you have been and you still are in the very rooms where conversations are had, plans are hatched, and decisions are made, and yet you do nothing.
Hello people, how are you doing? I hope you're doing super great wherever you are. As you know, these are presenter GTech Stories, and I'm hoping you're having a great day or evening wherever you are. Now, there's something that it is important that we need to talk about. Often overlooked is the place of white women in harboring racism in the contemporary society, especially in the United States, amongst the questions that we need to talk about. Now, there's this black lady who talks about how white women have a racism, and I think it's important for you to note that this video doesn't promote hate or something. I think it is just a perspective, and from her personality, she is so stern, and I think it's important because for you to get a message to people, one way of making them understand, especially white folks, is to be stern. Now, the video is entirely for educational purposes because I believe everything she says are facts and should be considered, and those are her opinion, and I agree with her and I support everything that she says, in as much as she sounds stern. Now, we need to look at the role of white women in harboring racism. Sometimes when a white woman comes out and says that they really resonate with black women, it leaves question, because you did the opposite of what you said you can do if you really mean that. And majority of things, benefits that people go through, affirmative action that black women and have fought for, the benefit people benefit from all these are white women, so they play a significant role in making this happen. Now, when we talk about slavery, while traditional slavery was abolished, its legacy continues in different forms, often upheld by systems that benefit white women indirectly. From economic exploitation to cultural appropriation, white women, whether consciously or unconsciously, participate in systems that mirror aspects of historical slavery. Many white women today hold positions of power in corporate America, politics, and education, yet often remain silent or complicit in labor exploitation, racial inequality, and policies that disproportionately harm black people. I want us to watch this video. It is by this black woman. She is called, it's important for me to note how she's called because she shares an important message. Her TikTok name is called Beach Happens. You can go and check that out. I don't know why she decided to call herself that way, but I think it speaks a lot because she is a no-nonsense lady. Now let us watch this video. I'll be back and we'll have a discussion about it.
Slavery has been abolished and Jim Crow is no longer in play. The psyche of white supremacy, white privilege, and entitlement still remains. And to this day, white women, regardless of political affiliation, and albeit consciously or subconsciously, still think of black women as being your indentured servants, that we must be in service to you at all times, and your access to us must always be unfettered. And this election and your reaction to black women as a result of it was a prime example. When black women collectively said, we are tired, we are done, and to just simply leave us alone, instead of listening to black women, respecting us and the boundary we set forth, you took our immediate divestment and disengagement from you as downright disrespect. How dare black women withdraw their labor, support, and protection of us? How dare black women deny us access to them? White women are the creators of exclusion, and yet you hate exclusivity the moment it's directed towards you. The moment black women disengaged from your content, you came to the real-time realization that the majority of your platforms were built off the backs of black women, just like everything else you have. And because the 15th was right around the corner, you turned that panic into pandering, hence the blue bracelets. When black women immediately clocked your performative bullshit and told you collectively to fuck off, the mask, as always, immediately dropped. Whenever white women extend kindness to us, even in the smallest of ways, there's an immediate and silent demand for gratitude. And when not received, you feel immediately slighted. You go from 0 to Miss Millie real fucking quick. You went from pandering for our engagement to condescendingly demanding that we acknowledge your individual vote for Kamala Harris rather than your collective vote to uphold white supremacy and protect your white privilege. Now you're so desperate for our engagement that you've resorted to rage baiting, which has also fallen on deaf ears. White women are all about perception, because in your mind, if you look the part, you are the part without having to actually do the work. And because you're all about perception, your greatest fear is exposure, which is why you view Black women as your greatest threat, because we know exactly who you are at your core and everything evil that you're capable of, because for centuries, we've witnessed and experienced it firsthand. The majority of you have no interest in being an ally to Black women. You just need to be perceived as one, because it allows you to feel morally superior while simultaneously disguising your deeply rooted insecurities and your jealousy of Black women. For the first time ever, you are being judged, and rightfully so, based solely on the color of your skin and not the content of your character, which has always been questionable at best. It's all fun and MLK quotes until you're on the receiving end of one. As far as the trickle-down patriarchy is concerned, your only perk is your white privilege. And you are so desperate to hang on to it that you stay silent. And instead, you choose to ride the coattails of the very white men that's taking away your rights and are actively working to take away your freedom. And yet and still, you manage to possess the fucking caucasity to walk around like you Mary fucking Magdalene. Meanwhile, you just gave white men the keys to the very kingdom that they've been building this whole time in front of your face. White women are not rooted in reality nor realness. You're rooted in perception, which aptly explains why you're so selfish, self-centered, and self-serving. And it is because you are rooted in perception that you don't like confrontation and you don't like being called out. Because upon doing so, the fallacy that you've created for yourself is immediately destroyed. And so your immediate knee-jerk reaction is to pull out the white women tears or the unity card, or sometimes it's a combination of both. You seem to be under this impression that this is the time for Black women and white women to stand together as one and unite. So my question to you is, as it pertains to said unity, which Black women would you like to unite with? Is it the Black women such as myself that you're so quick to call loud, aggressive, and ghetto whenever we assert ourselves with you? Or we say or do something that you don't like or understand, even though it wasn't meant for you in the first fucking place? Is it the Black women that you call welfare queens, knowing full well that the largest recipients of government assistance are white? Is it the Black women that you report to HR because we don't say good morning to you? Or smile on command to appease you? Or tell you what we do on our weekends off because that's our personal fucking business and you're not entitled to that information? Is it the Black women that work in retail and customer service that you not only berate, but falsely report to management and corporate because you don't get the refund, discount, or level of service you demanded, oftentimes resulting in us losing our livelihoods? Is it the Black women, the overqualified Black women in corporate America that you consistently lie on, sabotage, and steal promotions from because you know your mediocrity would not get you the position otherwise? Is it the same Black women that you treat condescendingly the moment you don't get the immediate praise and gratitude you seem to think you're entitled to? Is it the Black women whose style and aesthetic you carbon copy only to repackage and rebrand it as something you invented? Is it the Black women whose content and creativity you steal verbatim and profit millions of dollars off of it? All the while refusing to both credit and compensate the very Black women you stole from. Are those the Black women that you would like to unite and stand as one with you? 47% of white women that voted for Kamala Harris bring your ass because you on the fucking docket today. And because I already know how you bitches operate, let's get some church announcements out the way. 1, when faced with uncomfortable truths, a true ally will accept the information rather than react to it. 2, if it don't apply, let it the fuck fly. In other words, don't bring your sensitive Susie asses in my fucking comments telling me how your best friend is black and giving me a laundry list of things you've done to help the black community. This is me preemptively telling you I don't give a fuck. 3rd, as far as my content is concerned, the feelings of white people, particularly white women, would never be centered nor considered. So if you're white and you follow me and what I'm about to say offends you, there's no need to announce your disappointment nor your departure. You can simply get the fuck out. Now let's get down to business. 47% are particularly the ones that go above and beyond to tell black people, but black women in particular, that you're a part of the 47%. It's not that you do it because of your love, support, and solidarity of black women. It's about your image. Because you need to be on record as being part of the 47%. So you're not perceived to be a part of the 53% because it's MAGA. Because for whatever reason, you seem to think that you're better white women than they are. And newsflash, you fucking aren't. Now, while you may not subscribe to and or believe in their racist beliefs and ideologies, as white women on a daily basis, you still benefit and profit from said racist beliefs and ideologies, none the fucking less. Another thing is that it's not lost, and it's not lost on me, and it's definitely not lost on white women. No generation of white people, especially white women, have ended white supremacy. Now, the only thing to do to end white supremacy in this country is to dismantle it and relinquish your white privilege. 2 things that are a bridge too far for you bitches, especially the last, which is why you'll change the name of a school, you'll change the name of a sports team, you'll take down statues, you'll volunteer in the very neighborhoods that you're gentrifying and pushing my people out of just to assuage your fucking white guilt. You will do everything but give up that white privilege. White people are inherently mediocre. You motherfuckers have to work not to be. And that's a topic for another time, but trust and believe I will be circling the fuck back. And it is because of your white mediocrity, which is why you require so much of black women that you'll never require of yourself, because you bitches can't deliver. White women are the only people on the face of this fucking earth that will betray you and then demand that you make them feel better about doing it. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong, because I already know I'm fucking right. Because you do it all the time. And it's because of your white mediocrity that you don't mind being supported by black women. You want to be supported and defended by black women, but you don't want to be led by black women. Because in order for you to be led by black women, you have to, 1, acknowledge your shortcomings, and 2, forego being the center of fucking attention. And considering the fact that you bitches are born with main character syndrome, that's a fucking habit you hoes can't fucking kick. But what really bothers me is you white bitches that are all about, where's Kamala? I mean, we need her. She should be working. So you want a black woman to do a job that you didn't elect her for. Because see, what you want is you want your individual vote counted, but you don't want the collective one to be counted. And it's the collective vote that makes the fucking decision. And as a collective, you once again voted for your whiteness. Because one thing about you white women, you talk the fucking talk. But when it's time to walk the walk, you walk your ass right on over there to whites only. And this election is no different. And you don't want your ashy and crusty ass heels to be held to the fucking fire about that shit. You want to act like it didn't exist, like it didn't fucking happen. And what pisses me off is that when Hillary Clinton lost, you bitches put on a pink pussy hat, you did your little fucking march, you went to Starbucks and you called it a fucking day. You let that white lady lose in peace. You let her go take a fucking break, go out on the lecture circuit, make her motherfucking money, and go mind her fucking business. But the black woman, you want her to do the job you didn't fucking hire her to do. You should have thought about that shit when you was voting for the trickle-down patriarchy. Because you bitches gonna learn that the patriarchy was designed by white men for the sole benefit of white men. They view you as still being their property, just like you still view black women as being fucking yours, and we're not. Kamala Harris don't owe you shit. Black women don't owe you shit. But you bitches owe us everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking everything. Because not only have we protected you, but we fucking raised you. And in some cases, your entire fucking lineage. You were sucking on our fucking ancestors' tit because your fucking mothers couldn't be bothered enough to do it themselves. They went from wanting to be on the fucking porch drinking iced tea to just being drunk and popping pills because they fucking hate their lives. Black women raised you. Black women saved you. But that shit is done. You bitches been running an open tab since 1619, and you long bad bitches, it's time to settle the fuck up. Kamala Harris owes you nothing. You should have thought about what you needed when you was in that fucking voting booth. You made your fucking choice as a collective, and it was to uphold white supremacy and keep your fucking white privilege. Fucking own up to it. And just as a reminder, this is my platform. I say what the fuck I mean, and I mean what the fuck I say. Case closed and court fucking adjourned. You should remember that before you step your ass into my fucking comment section. Have the fucking day you deserve. White women, aka the 47%, bring that ass on back because you're still on the fucking docket. We going for round 3 today. Now, to you saltine Sallys that got all in your fucking fifis about what I said, just so you know, 95% of your comments went directly to the filter section. So not only will I not read them, nobody else will either. So your long drawn out, I want to speak to the manager ass dissertations were all for naught. Now, when you were watching my video, that feeling that you had, that was your internalized racism coming to the surface. And that's the reason why you couldn't receive my message, was because you couldn't get past my delivery. Because you can't fucking fathom the fact that I, a black woman in 25, would talk to white women that way. Not only did I talk to you bitches that way, but I did it live and in living fucking color, just like I'm doing it right now. I simultaneously put you bitches on both notice and display in front of the entire fucking world, and you pissed about it, as I knew you would be. Because not only are you motherfuckers mediocre, you're fucking predictable, as always. Now, just so you get a better understanding of what type of time I'm on November 6th, I didn't have to put my cape in the closet because I never owned one to begin with. I came out the womb pissing white women off. I'm not fucking new to this. I'm true to it. And until the day I fucking rest, I would drink white women tears like tequila shots in this spring break in Mexico, bitch. I'm talking unlimited and all fucking inclusive. For all the liberalism and feminism you like to brag about being a part of, you still carry the mentality that black women must always stay in their proverbial place. And that's to always be in and of service to you. And while you may be Miss Millie, bitch, I'm not Sophia. The conversations about race and oppression, specifically conversations that are being led by black people, I need you to resist the fucking envelopian urge to go to your default position, which is passive aggressive gaslighting. And I'll give you an example. This is so hateful. You're being so racist. I don't have to justify my vote. I'm a white woman. I don't see color. I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm a white woman, and I am entitled to sit on my non-existent ass and not do anything at all. And I will not be generalized nor chastised because of it. This is exactly why we can't get things done in this country. We can't move on. This is not the time for divisiveness. This is the time for unity. With all due disrespect, fuck you and the dick you shot out of. You bitches always want to be unified after the fucking fact. The day of unity was November 5th, 2024. Black women showed up and showed out as we always do. And white women, you oversold and underdelivered as you always do. That white mediocrity is a motherfucker. You bitches ain't never beaten them allegations. We did what needed to be done. The only person qualified to talk to me about unity is fucking Queen Latifah. The only time you seek support from black women is when you don't get your way with white men. And to those that are actually interested in doing the work, I need you to understand that no matter how genuine your questions may be, the onus of explaining racism and oppression is never on the oppressed. We didn't create the system, and it's not our place to dismantle it. It's yours. Now, if you're really about that life, and you really want to make some changes, I need to start seeing more white on white crime on my timeline. If a musty MAGA bitch say some racist out of pocket shit, Bobby Boucher that bitch immediately, post motherfucking haste. If you chilling at a bar and a big Duck Dynasty looking motherfucker says the N-word, whether it be the A or the hard ER, you better Rocky Balboa that motherfucker like he fought that Russian. It's time to make ass whooping great again. In the words of the late great Nate Dogg, it's really quite easy to get fucked up. All you gotta do is step on up. Start knocking your fellow whites the fuck out. White women are the creators of exclusivity and, by extension, division. For centuries, up until present day, white women continue to orchestrate the plot and then immediately pretend to not understand the plight. You are not the victims you're desperate to be. You're the perpetrators. This case is not closed, but court is adjourned. Have the fucking day you deserve.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm having something to say about black women, and I think this is not black women but white women, which is often overlooked. That I think it's important because they play a key part in still perpetuating racism, and they have an upper hand because even the legal systems hears them so much as compared to any other person. Now, one major way white women contribute to modern forms of slavery is through economic exploitation. Particularly in domestic and low-wage labor, many black and immigrant women work as maids, nannies, or caregivers for white families, often underpaid and overworked with little legal protection. This mirrors historical dynamics, where enslaved black women were forced into domestic servitude. Even in professional spaces, white women benefit from affirmative action policies originally meant to uplift black people, yet often fail to advocate for black women's inclusion in leadership position. Is it true or is it lie? Let me know, because for the longest time I know black people, black women fought for the affirmative action. But if you have a look, who does these services benefit so much? It is white women, even as compared to black people. And I think even if we look at the list or the hierarchy of who these things really benefit, you'll find that black people are on the lower ladder. The affirmative action doesn't even, benefit black people. Another way white women uphold slavery's legacy is through their role in criminal justice system. You know very well that historically, white women's false accusation led to the lynching and imprisonment of countless black men. And this pattern continues today through racial profiling and biased policing. White women in positions of power, such as judges, prosecutors, and politicians, rarely challenges the mass incarceration, modern form of slavery, where black men and women are exploited for cheap labor in prisons. Many also support policies that uphold systemic racism while distancing themselves from responsibility. I would like to say this. It saddens me that a lot of black men have innocently gone to jail because of false accusation. And you know that during the legal system, if you have a case with a white woman, just know that automatically she's gonna be winning that case against you. Even if they falsely accused you, even if they telling the truth, you can never win unless you have a solid evidence of which it's subject to distortion, which also can be used against you. So you can mirror, you can see where all these dynamics come into play. And I think we need to understand and take this keenly, because for the longest time they have been the harbor of trying to push all this. But I'm not saying that it is all white people or white women. There are few who still push for all this. So I think it's important for us to understand the dynamics that comes with this. I like to talk about cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation is another way how white women continue to profit from black labor and creativity without proper acknowledgement. From the fashion industry stealing black hairstyles to influence monetizing black culture on social media, white women frequently capitalize on aesthetics and labor of black people while offering little return. This is similar to how enslaved black people created cultural innovations that were later exploited by white societies without compensation. The role of these people is to whitewash. The role of these people is to take. The role of these white people is to deny all the achievements that black people have ever done in the history of human being. There is a lot of more history that are yet to be identified, and I'm thankful that this is coming out there, that people are getting to know the truth. There are a lot of history, black history, important history, hidden history, forbidden history that has been whitewashed, that has been taken away from black folks. And I'm glad that with time, this is being exposed. And I'm glad that everyone is getting to see and everyone is getting to know the truth, right? Because tell me why. There's so many things that were discovered by black people, they were taken. If you're trying to see something that was discovered by a white person, you'll find that long way before that, a black person had an idea. In one way or another, they got ways of denying them all this and took credit from the original person who came up with the creativity. That's how that's how it's crazy. So I hope that these messages that I'm always trying to share with you, I hope that they make sense to you. I hope that you get to see the perspective or the direction that I'm heading to with this narrative. Because you need to look at these things critically. For the longest time in the beauty and fashion industry, they have taken this, especially white women, and from music, fashion, entertainment, they have managed to get away with this. Now, I like to talk about something. Ultimately, white women's complicity in maintaining modern slavery systems from a combination of privilege, historical conditioning, and reluctance to challenge structures that benefit them. While some actively fight for racial justice, it is true, we agree, not all women are bad. While some are fighting for racial justice, many remain silent or performative in their activism, failing to challenge the deeper systems of exploitation. True progress requires white women to acknowledge their role in these structures and actively work to dismantle them, rather than benefiting from the oppression while claiming solidarity. I think that was my take on this video, because there's a lot happening that I feel like we need to have a discussion about. It can never be enough, but I hope the little perspective that I share in regards to this goes a long way and makes a person see something differently. As you know, these are presented Jintok Stories. If you're watching this video for the first time, I'll most definitely ask you to subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. If you wish to support me, I have my Cash App account. You can also send me a super thanks. I most definitely appreciate, and I'm also thankful for those who are trying to support me through my Cash App account, through my super thanks account. I'm really, really grateful for your support. These are presented Jintok Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute. Stay safe wherever you are.